Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat is on back order, and I'm bringing you another Pokemon TCG unboxing video today. Now, before we get to that, I just want to mention off the top of the video that the deck that I made in last week's video, the Slurpuff and Swampert combo deck, I actually brought to a Pokemon tournament over the weekend. And I don't normally like to brag about my victories, which is perfectly fine, because I got destroyed. But I kind of expected that was going to happen anyway, because as I was making the deck and then I was playtesting it afterwards, I did notice some flaws in it, which is fine. And for example, Wailord EX, a lot of HP, but he does not get powered up quick enough to actually get into battle. So I'm hoping to make a few changes with that. And a loss is not really the worst thing in the world, because if you just accept the loss as you've been defeated, then it is a loss. But if you accept it as an opportunity to learn new things, to grow yourself and better yourself, then you're going to make yourself a stronger person in whatever it is you choose to do. Losing in a card game, if you play basketball, for example, if you lose a game, you practice more. It's going to make you a better gamer, better player, I should say. And even if you fail a test in school or something like that, study harder, study more, learn more things, and it will better you in the long run. So, that being said, what I'm going to do today is unbox another Elite Trainer box. Now, it isn't like I was beaten out of the tournament and I thought, I need to get a lot of more new cards. I actually ordered this to go with the Groudon box that I opened a couple videos ago. This was just delayed in shipping. Trust me, it's the truth. But yeah, so it's delayed in shipping. I'm going to open this one up today, and since we did just open a trainer box just a couple videos ago, I'm not going to get really in-depth and describe everything that's in this box, because if you want to see more information about a trainer box, I would recommend clicking on the Primal Groudon trainer box that's in my video lists there. So, we're just going to open this up. Mainly, we're just going to see what cards we get out of the booster packs. Alright, let's get started. So here we go, the Elite Trainer box Primal Clash set featuring Primal Kyogre. And we're just going to take a look at the back here, because I didn't actually read the back of the last one. I just kind of gave you a description. Ancient rivals awaken. After centuries of sleep, the deep power of Primal Groudon EX erupts from the land as Primal Kyogre EX crashes in from the sea, riding titanic waves into battle. It's a bit more of a description of Kyogre there. But anyway, with colossal new arrivals like Mega Gardevoir EX and Mega Aggron EX, the Pokemon TCG X and Y Primal Clash expansion is alive with the primordial power of ancient traits, plus all new Spirit Link and special energy cards. Let the earth shake and the oceans thunder, and get ready for a Primal Clash like no other. Alright, so let's check this out. As with the previous trainer box, we get your little booklet of descriptions here, nice card list, yada yada yada. And I just dropped it. It's okay. Excess cardboard pieces to hold its shape together. Here we got your card sleeves, featuring the Kyogre on there with the Pokemon Trading Card logo. Awesome. Let me grab our booster packs. There's 6 here. I'll grab the other 2 in a minute. So here's the dice that come with it. The competition legal coin flip die and the damage counter dice. And what I like about the dice is that, as you can see, it's got the expansion symbol of the set that it comes from, but they're also color coded to whatever trainer box they come out of. So the Groudon ones were red and these Kyogre ones are blue, so that's actually pretty cool. I like those little details. Here we've got the pack of 5 of each type of energy card to help you make new decks. Got the other 2 booster packs here. Set them down. There's the code card for the online game. And actually what I found out this does is it unlocks the card sleeves for your online deck. But it also unlocks this will unlock a Primal Kyogre deck box for your cards too. So, kind of cool. Nice little online collectible. Another piece of cardboard. And here we got the acrylic burn and poison markers. And it's funny because I mentioned in the last trainer box video that the reason I got into getting the trainer boxes was to get these, but now that I've gotten, I think, 3 trainer boxes, I don't really need any more of these things. So actually when I was at that tournament, I gave out a set of these as one of the, or I donated a set of these as one of the prizes for the tournament. but they're still pretty cool if you don't actually have a set of those yet. So, let's get everything to the side. And we've got our 8 booster packs here. Now what I'm hoping to find is, among many things, some dive balls, because as I learned from playing in the tournament, dive balls would really help me getting that Swampert into play quicker. And his ability of, diving search basically will let me get everything else I need into play quicker too. So here's hoping for some good luck with the booster packs. So far the luck isn't so good. Alright. So starting off the first pack, we get Barboach, Weedle, Tynamo, Corphish, Vulpix, got Bibarel, which, as I mentioned before, that's a pretty powerful continuous headbutt if you give it like the trick coin, because you could possibly knock out an EX with this guy. Here we have a rare candy, which could also be useful if I want to get my Swampert into play, because it basically lets me skip from Mudkip to Swampert using this card. I can evolve a basic into its related Stage 2 Pokemon if I play this card. I usually don't like to use rare candies, and it's more just a personal choice, because in the video games, rare candy will force your Pokemon to level up right away, and I like to train them up the slower, more, I guess, boring way, but it helps build more of a connection, and I don't know. Because of that, rare candy isn't on my top list of priorities. We've got another Bouffalant, and reverse foil will be a Grovyle. Awesome. The rare of this pack turns out to be a Tentacruel. Not too bad. I might as well take a look at it, I guess. So 100 HP, Dancing Tentacles for 1 energy, no damage, but your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused and poisoned, and a Pokemon. Then Stick and Absorb will do 30, and Tentacruel heals 30 from itself. The defending Pokemon can't retreat next turn. So, not too bad. Next pack is up. It's funny, I'm hoping for dive balls in this set. I completely glossed over the fact that we might get some full arts or EXs too, so let's see. Got a Nidoran female, Clamperl, Solrock, and Chinchou, Mudkip. Here we have a Nidorina, Bunnelby, got the ancient trait of Omega Barrage, and I discovered this is pretty devastating against my Slurpuff Swampert deck if I don't have the ability to draw the top card, because Omega Barrage lets this Pokemon attack twice, and although it doesn't do any damage, its first attack says to discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Now if I use Swampert to get a useful card on top of the deck, on the next turn Bunnelby can just make me lose it. So, kind of a little annoyance, this guy. But useful if you're going to use him. I have a Ancient Trait Tentacool, got Alpha Recovery, which when you heal this Pokemon, you double the amount that you heal. And a simple Psy Shot for 20 damage. Reverse foil card shall be a Breloom, which I think we got out of the last trainer box too. Cool. And the rare will be a Kingdra. So this guy here, Shred for 1 water energy does 30, and it ignores any effects on the defending Pokemon. So anything like trainer cards like Hard Charm, or if it used an attack that reduces damage, Shred will not be affected. Then Twister does 70 damage for 1 water, 1 lightning. And flip 2 coins. For each heads, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. If both of them are tails, this attack does nothing. Certainly a good viable candidate for attaching a trick coin to. Alright, so pack number 3. Which I shall eventually get into. There we go. Starting off this one, we have a blurred camera. There we go. Vulpix, Trapinch, Horsey, Corphish, a Surskit. We got an Electric, Mr. Mime, Scorched Earth, reverse foil shall be Drillbur, and the rare for this pack is going to be Sceptile. Pretty cool. It's got a nice ability here. Once during your turn before your attack, you can attach a grass energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. If you do, heal 30 from that Pokemon. So this will let you attach a second energy each turn, essentially. And Jungle Edge for 3 energies does 70 damage. Okay, pack number 4 shall give us, hopefully, a little dive ball luck. First up is Rhyhorn, Skitty, regular Drillbur, Electrike, Honedge, we've got Lantern, Grovyle, Bidoof with the alpha, or the ancient trait Alpha Recovery, so you heal double damage from it. Drench does 20, plus if it has any water energy attached, it does 20 more. So this would be a good colorless Pokemon to add into a water type deck. Reverse foil shall be Weedle. Rare of the pack is Rhyperior. I think we took a look at this guy when we opened the Earth's Pulse deck. Rock Shower for 2 fighting and 1 colorless. Flip 3 coins. This attack does 20 damage times the number of heads to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So this could hit the entire bench. And I've used this online, and you can get like 2 or 3 knockouts in a single turn if you get like some lucky coin flips. So that's why the trick coin is very useful. And Stone Edge for 2 fighting, 2 colorless. 80 plus, flip a coin. If heads, 40 more damage. Pretty powerful Stage 2 Pokemon. So halfway through the trainer box. So far not the best of luck for what I'm looking for, but one of the nice things is it's called a trading card game, so I could trade some of these cards for the cards that I need from other players. Starting off, we have Meryl, Torchic, Slugma, Illumise, and Tangela. Uncommon start with a Doublade. Now, I've actually been looking for this because I have a different deck that I use on the Unlimited format, and it focuses on my team from X and Y, and on that team was a Honedge, Doublade, Aegislash. And I've never had one of these Doublades yet, and I just dropped them. False Swipe. Flip a coin. If heads, put damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon until its remaining HP is 10, representing False Swipe from the video game, which will always leave a Pokemon that you hit with at least one HP. It will never knock them out. Makes it easier for capturing. This would work well if you have a way to poison your opponent or burn your opponent too, because between turns, the poison or burn should be able to knock them out and you gain a prize. Then we got Slash for 60. 2 metal and 1 colorless energy. We got a Repeat Ball, which I think is a repeat card we got from I think the trainer box. We have a Silent Lab. Each basic Pokemon in play, in each player's hand, and in each player's discard pile has no abilities. Might be useful because a lot of the EX Pokemon, which are basics, have abilities. I don't know if a lot of them do. Many of them do, though. And this would completely shut those down. Reverse foil card shall be Slugma. Rare of the pack is going to turn out to be a non-ancient trait Medicham. Pure Power. For 1 fighting, put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. So that could be even put onto the bench, and things like Mountain Ring that prevent damage being done to the bench do not prevent the placement of damage counters. So no matter what they have to block the bench, you can still do that. Then Windmill Kick for 60 causes confusion without a coin float. That's not too bad. Whoops. That's not too bad. Still not quite what I'm looking for, though. And look at that, we still haven't gotten any EXs or full arts either, so I guess the luck is not necessarily better in the trainer kits, trainer boxes. However, there's 3 packs left to go, so let's not give up hope just yet. Starting off, we have Solrock, Chinchou, Mudkip, Spinda, Nose Pass. And you get an Escape Rope, Kakuna, Kyogre Spirit Link, which will prevent your turn from ending if Kyogre becomes Primal Kyogre. Reverse foil Freshwater set. rare card shall be a regular Swampert. And I made the online deck of my Slurpuff Swampert combo before I actually had the Ancient Trait Swampert, and I was using this one, and this one's actually still pretty good. It's got a little more HP. This Water Arrow attack for 1 water and 2 colorless does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so this can also hit the bench. And then Waterfall for 2 water, 2 colorless energy does a solid 120 damage. Not too bad, although searching for any card every turn is the more useful tactic. Okay, pack number 7. In this one we shall get, make sure the camera's focused here, Feebas, Electrike, Hippopotas, another Honedge, Spheal. We get an Ancient Trait Electrike with Omega Barrier. If we can read that, whenever your opponent plays a trainer card, excluding Pokemon Tools and Stadium cards, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So this will block any supporter cards, any item cards, except for the tools. And I completely blanked. I was going to say Stadium, but no, Stadium still affects these guys. Anyway, Thunderfang for 1 lightning energy does 10 damage, and flip a coin. If heads, the opponent is paralyzed. Now we have a Wonder Energy. I don't know if I described this yet, and if not, I shall describe it now, because this is somewhat overpowered. Okay, Wonder Energy can only be attached to Fairy Pokemon, and it provides Fairy Energy while it's attached. It says, prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks except damage done to the Fairy Pokemon this card is attached to. So, what this basically means is if your opponent hits you with a Poison Sting, which does 20 damage, and poisons, you'll still take 20, but this blocks the poison. If you have a Pokemon attack you with something like Whirlwind, 30 damage, and then switch your Pokemon to the bench, this prevents the switching. Only damage will be done to these Pokemon. Abilities will still be able to affect them, like if Victory Bell uses the Wafting Scent ability, you can still poison and confuse the Fairy Pokemon that way, but this is really useful to keep your opponent's more interesting strategies at bay. We have Dive Ball! Sweet! Okay, we got 1 Dive Ball. I was hoping for another, and there is 1 more pack to go, but we got 1 at least. Search your deck for a water Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. Good, we got the Dive Ball. Swampert will live. And the reverse foil is, I just talked about you! But now we have a nice, shiny reverse foil, Wonder Energy. And the ultimate rare of this pack shall be Groudon. Now, something I didn't mention in the deck building video, and I probably should have thought to mention it there, when I was saying how you can only have 4 of each named card in a deck. You can only have 4 Groudon, for example, but Groudon EX technically is a different name. So you can have 4 Groudon and 4 Groudon EX if you happen to have the cards. So you can have like 8 different versions of Groudon in your deck, which is pretty cool. Final pack. Come on, I'm hoping for another Dive Ball. I don't even care if I get EXs or Full Arts now. I just want another Dive Ball. So the final pack starts off with a nice and powerful, unstoppable Blur. Volbeat. Blur, stop it. There we go. Next up is Staryu. And Bidoof. Lotad. Spheal. Coming into Linoon. Vibrava. Shrine of Memories. And reverse foil will be Ludicolo with ability Captivating Rhythm. Once during your turn, before your attack, you may flip a coin. If heads, switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with his or her active Pokemon. And Solar Ray for 1 grass, 2 colorless, 80 damage, and you heal 20 from each of your Pokemon. That's actually really useful. It's almost like Fresh Water set, but you get to do damage as well. And that ability is pretty good. It reminds me of an ability of the Swellow from the base set X and Y, which, without a coin flip, it says once per turn you can make your opponent switch, although they choose the switch. This here, if you get the coin flip, Ludicolo lets you pick the bench Pokemon to bring up. So that could be really useful if they have like something building on the bench. You can bring it up and just go for a quick knockout. And the final card, the final rare of the Elite Trainer box is... Alrighty! Mega Gardevoir EX! I'm actually pretty happy about this because, as I said I'm just going to set that back there for a sec. As I said about the tournament that I was in, I learned some flaws of the deck and how Wailord EX was not really the most viable battle Pokemon. And a young friend of mine was actually looking for a trade, and he was looking for Wailord EX, and he happened to have a Gardevoir EX for trade. So I did the trade, and now I can actually put a Mega in the deck. It's going to take a little bit more Fairy Energy, especially the attack here. So Mega Gardevoir, 210 damage, or HP, I should say. I'm getting all excited. I can't even focus on the card here. And the attack is Brilliant Arrow for 1 Fairy and 2 colorless energy. This attack does 30 damage times the amount of Fairy Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. This might, if I'm going to include it, it might require a rework of the entire deck because, unfortunately, I only have 4 Fairy Energy in the deck, if you recall. I'm going to want to have more if Gardevoir is going to be one of my battling Pokemon. And the thing is, will that hurt the Swampert? Because the idea with Swampert is put as much water on it as you can, and each water will do 30 more damage. I might want to even the deck out energy-wise now. Have like water and fairy. Another thing I should probably consider is that Shrine of Memories, because let's say we get Gardevoir EX Mega Gardevoir EX into play. If I don't have enough fairy energy to really do anything, I can still use Shrine of Memories, because each player's evolved Pokemon can use any attack from their previous evolutions. Mega Gardevoir could still use Shining Wind or Life Leap. So, I got some options to rethink. I definitely have a Dive Ball to add in, too. Don't want to downplay that. So I got that, and I've got Wonder Energies. I could actually make a pretty interesting Water and Fairy deck now. So that's quite impressive. I'm going to set these two back here. Hang out with Lucario back there. Alright, so that was the unboxing of the Primal Clash Elite Trainer box featuring Primal Kyogre. And that was actually pretty awesome. Alright. Alright, catch you next time.